Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
We offer our most respectful obeisances unto all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who just like desire trees, fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Jai Vanchakalpa Turuvishya Kripa Sindhu Veda Padita Hallelujah Vaishnava Namo Namaha. All right. All right. Okay. Jaya Radhamadhuva Kunnabihati Jaya Radhamadhuva Kunnabihati Gopi Janabalaba Giri Baladale Gopi Janabalaba Giri Baladale Yasoda Nandana Rajada Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachanti Yamuna Tira Manachari Jaya Radhamata Va Kunyabihanti Joy Radhamadhuva Kunyabihanti Gopi Jana Balaba Iri Baladhari Gopi Jana Balaba Iri Baladhari Yasuranandana Brajanaranjana Yasuranandana Brajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radhu Madhuva Kunjabihari Joyurad Madhuva Kunjabihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravitakacharya also Teta Satashi Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Goti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Gopinath Shai Makunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Maturadam Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Yamunabai Ki Jai Shrimati Lassi Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories the assembled devotees. All glories the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Pacharni Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschacha Deshatarni. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 17th chapter, text 35. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Api Sved Adya Lokanam Trayanam Akuto Vayam Nanu Bhuyan Bhagavato Lokan Paryattato Guna Apisved Atjalokanam Jayanam Akutobhayam Nanubuyan Bhagavato Lokan Paryattato Guna Apisved Atjalokanam Trayanam Akutobhayam Nanubuyan Bhagavato Lokan Paryattato Guna Apisved Atjalokanam Trayanam Akutobhayam Nanubuyan Bhagavato Lokan Paryattato Guna. Okay. Guna. Okay. Api Svet, certainly. Aja, today. Loganam, of the worlds. Jayanam, 3. Akutopayam, complete freedom from fear. Nanu, indeed. Bhuyan, great. Bhagavata, of the powerful personality. Lokan, throughout all the planetary systems. Paryattata, who travels. Guna, the quality. Translation. Lord Krishna said, it is certain that today the 3 worlds have attained freedom from all fear, for that is the influence of such a great personality as you, who travel at will throughout all the worlds. You can repeat. Lord Krishna said, it is certain that today the 3 worlds have attained freedom from all fear. For that is the influence of such a great personality as you, who travel at will throughout all the worlds. So there is no commentary or purport by the followers of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and I'll just read the short commentaries by the Acharyas. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states, I am asking you about the welfare of all the people of the world, since it is improper to ask about your welfare, it being impossible that you could have any misfortune. Are the three worlds free from fear nowadays? Well, how should I know this? Your great quality is that you wander everywhere. Since from you knowledge of all the worlds can be obtained, I ask you. And Jiva Goswami comments, a piece of it indicates a question. Everyone in the universe is free of fear. You wander about to benefit us, since you are the Lord, Ishvara Kartrishu. This is stated in the next verse. Nanu indicates conjecture or certainty. He calls Narada Bhagavan out of great respect. This quality of fearlessness should arise from you who wander throughout the universe. Or how do I know about this? Your influence, guna, is everywhere since you wander in all places. Mistake here. So again, the verse, apisved ajalokanam triyanam akutovayam nanubuyan bhagavato lokan paryatato guna somagana timidanda sha gananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. So this is one of the anarthas that all of us are subjected to, which is bhaya. Bhaya, of course, same word here, means fear, and is also one of the principles of material life, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, which sometimes Prabhupada describes as fearing. Prabhupada gives that definition of defending. So we are definitely in anxiety. Actually, I'm in anxiety. Anyway, over the temple construction. But anyway, so there is healthy fear and there is unhealthy fear. So unhealthy fear is fearfulness that is caused by forgetfulness of Krishna. And healthy fear, well, we'll describe that in a second. But let me just quote this particular verse from the Bhagavatam that really summarizes this unhealthy fear. And of course, this is 11:2:37, famous verse. Vayam dvita viniveshita shat ishadapeta shiviparyo smriti tanmaya yato buddha abhajatam pachai kiye sham gurudeva tatma. Fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of absorption in the eternal illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. Interesting. Turns himself away. Oh my God. That means that we originally Krishna conscious, doesn't it? Ooh. And let's go back to the Sanskrit. Apetasya means to turn away. Anyway, interesting, isn't it? How people can think the opposite. He forgets his constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by the potency for illusion called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master whom he should accept as his worshipful deity and his very life and soul. So one may argue that I simply have to understand what? I'm not the body. Simply have to read what? The second chapter of Bhagavad Gita? I don't have to read the rest of the Bhagavad Gita. Just understand I'm not the body and that I won't be fearful. No, it doesn't work like that. First of all, even if you theoretically understand you're not the body, that will not help you understand that you're not the body. Realize that you're not the body. So theoretical understanding is not useful. But let's say even hypothetically, if one realizes they're not the body and realizes they're Brahman, of course, obviously you have to realize you're something. You know, you're not the body. Actually, it's very interesting. I was watching this psychologist the other night. Not that I have any problems. Or maybe I do. But anyway, I was watching this psychologist the other night, and he says, because we're identifying with the body, or because we're in this body, sorry. It was a little spiritual. That we don't really perceive reality, which actually is a fact. It's interesting. It's interesting realization that actually all we perceive is what our senses are capable of perceiving. And each and every different type of living entity in different species of life is capable of experiencing a different insignificant subset of reality. And the example given was like a bat. A bat? You know, bat. You don't know what a bat is. So, a bat doesn't see. A bat is able to go everywhere, not fly everywhere, through sonar. Everyone understands sonar? Sonar means the bat makes a little clicking noise, and when he makes this clicking noise, it reverberates off of different objects, and then he has like a image of what reality is. So his reality is basically a sonar map. I don't know if anyone's used sonar before. I have. When I was in a boat, we had sonar, and through sonar we were able to see if there were any fish. Or, I didn't go fishing, but to see if we were going to run aground. You know, anyway. In other words, we'd see if the water was deep enough. So that's the map that the bat has. And similarly, you know, you find animals with different types of maps. Like a dog can hear sound vibration up to how many hertz? I think it's about 40,000 hertz. Whereas us, it's only like 20,000. So you have different maps. So we're not really perceiving the totality. We're perceiving an insignificant amount of reality anyway, because we're conditioned by these bodies. So let's say, okay, getting back to the philosophical point, let's say that one realizes they're not the body, they're Brahman. So there's still anxiety for several reasons. One is, therefore, you're in anxiety about your identity. You're going to lose your identity when you merge into Brahman because of things you're attached to in this world. And secondly, of course, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, Aruya Kutrena Parampadam Pada Pasantiya Yushmad Angreha, that ultimately you fall down from Brahman. So that's not enough to free you from anxiety. To be freed from anxiety, one has to understand that they have an eternal relationship with Krishna. First of all, they're not the body. Second of all, you have an eternal relationship with Krishna, and you have a spiritual form, spiritual body, and you've forgotten it, just like stated in this particular verse. So therefore, if one has that particular information, Abhaya Sattva Sham Shuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vavastiti, one can actually be free of fear. And we see examples of Narada Muni, because here Narada Muni is being mentioned. Narada Muni preaching in such a way that people he preaches to are free of fear. I'll give some examples here. One example, of course, the famous example, is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was subjected to so many fearful conditions. For us, to be very fearful, isn't it? You know, I experience fear when someone feeds me the wrong food. When I heard about the feast yesterday, I was fearful. So anyways, what about the devotee's health? Anyway, so, but Prahlad Maharaj was thrown off the cliffs, and basically, he wasn't thinking, "Oh, Krishna's going to catch me" or anything like that. No. He wasn't aware how Krishna was going to deal with the situation. It's not that Krishna said to him, "Okay, when you're thrown off the cliff, I'll be there to catch you." Krishna didn't tell him that. He just understood that I'm a servant of Krishna, and it's up to Krishna if he wants to protect me or not protect me, but I will be serving him life after life. Narayana paraksarve nakutasjana bibhyati swarga pavarga narakeshu apitulyarta darshana. What is that? Devotee of Krishna, devotee of Narayan. Narayana paraksarve nakutasjana bibhyati. He's not afraid of anything. He's not concerned. He can go to heaven, swarga, apavarga. He can get liberated. That's liberation. Narakeshu, he can go to hell. Up until the Artha Darshana, it's all the same. So the freedom that a devotee has from fear is not that, Krishna's going to step in and, cure my cancer. But basically, I'm going to be with Krishna. Mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhakti haita gajwaye. That's really what frees a devotee from fear. Therefore, a devotee can preach enthusiastically, fearlessly, like Prabhupada did. Prabhupada came to the Western world, Abhayachara Nadavinda, came to the Western world, preached so enthusiastically, fearlessly, without any material support in the beginning. Because he understood, Krishna was going to take care of him. And how Krishna takes care of you, Krishna may cause devotees sometimes leave their bodies. Just like we hear the stories sometimes of the Moguls attacking temples and the devotees defending the temples. And the devotees getting killed. And you think, didn't Krishna protect them? Yes, Krishna protected them. But the protection is in a way that Krishna wants to give that protection. You understand? That's really important to understand. Otherwise, people will become full of doubt. Full of doubt. But a devotee who has this abhaya sattva sham shuddhi jnana yogi vastiti, he's completely fearless. And Narada Muni assures the devotees of this. Even if they're afraid of not getting enough to eat. For example, I never had a lack of prasadam. But anyway, so example of the story of Magrari. Narada Muni sort of like convinced Magrari, you got to give up half killing animals. In fact, you got to give up killing animals. And Magrari's objection was, fearfulness. What am I going to eat? And Narada Muni assured him that you will have plenty to eat. And that's actually what happened. Narada Muni said, I'll make sure that you get this. In other words, Krishna is taking care of you. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam eko bahunam yovadadati kamam. Krishna's taking care of us. So anyway, there's many examples, of course, apart from Narada Muni, of devotees who are completely fearless. One example that comes to mind is Gadadhar Das. Not Gadadhar Das Goswami. Gadadhar Das, he wanted to get everyone to chant the holy name, and this is how we should be too. Sometimes we're a little fearful. What will they think of us, isn't it? What will they think of us? Of course, we should dress nicely. We shouldn't dress sloppily. We should have a good presentation. But still, to be afraid. I remember the first time I went on Sankirtan, I was afraid. What if they say no? Isn't it? I mean, I wasn't afraid for my life. I was afraid for my ego. I knew no one was going to kill me in the streets of Gainesville, Florida. But, ego, what if they say no? Oh, my God. What if they don't like me? We have all these fears, that are there. And then I watch my dear godbrother Vaishesha go. He's completely fearless. He goes out there, And everybody reciprocates with him, or most people do. Some people may get angry. Anyway, so the Shastric story is that of Gadadhar Das. Gadadhar Das was preaching. He wanted to get everyone to chant, and especially wanted to get the moguls to chant. Don't try that at home. So he goes to the Qazi, who is cruel, very cruel. He goes to the Qazi, and not only does he go to the Qazi's house, but he goes in the night when the Qazi's sleeping. That's probably the worst time to talk to someone. I mean, I even experienced when I try to wake up disciples in the morning, they get angry. And they lock the door of the brahmachari ashram so I can't go in and wake them up anymore. So, and Nadi knows about this. So Gadadhar goes to the Qazi and he says, chant Hare Krishna. He goes to the Qazi's house. And the Qazi says, what are you doing here? He says, I want you to chant Hare Krishna. That's bold. That's really bold. And the Qazi, just like wiping his eyes, getting up from sleep, he says, tomorrow I'll chant Hare Krishna. And this way Gadadhar Das achieves perfection. He was able to get the Qazi to chant Hare Krishna. So it's amazing. It's amazing how fearless the devotees are. And if we want to preach, and we see the devotees in the beginning days of the movement, they went to Africa to preach. They went to, of course, UK is not such a fearful position. So, but still, they went all these places to preach Krishna consciousness. So, it's not healthy to be fearful of this material condition. But it's healthy, talking about healthy fear that we should cultivate. Healthy fear is fearfulness of losing the association of devotees. Fearfulness, this is what we should cultivate, this sort of fear. Fearfulness of committing offenses against devotees. Fearfulness of this material energy. Like Prabhupada said, the problem with you Western boys and girls is that you're not enough fearful of Maya. How dangerous this material world is. So that is a healthy fear to have, to be afraid of Maya, afraid. That's one of the things that gets me waking up in the morning. It's not just that, I wake up and I jump out of bed and say, hey, Haribol, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and roll on the ground. Well, I do roll in my bed. But anyway, so I'm afraid, if I don't go to Mangalarti, then, Maya will be there. I actually am afraid. Prabhupada said one time, I pray that I don't fall down into Maya. They're talking about himself, not about me. So, we get up. Oh my God, if I don't get up, and of course, I'm also afraid that I'll give a bad example to the devotees. If I don't show up for Mangalarti, I'm afraid everyone's going to say, I don't have to go either. He doesn't go. I don't go. So that's fearful too. Fearful about setting a bad example. So anyway, so how do we cultivate fearlessness, a proper type of fearlessness? Not fearlessness in terms of forgetting Krishna, but fearlessness in this mature world so we can execute our service. And actually, Prabhupada states that we can cultivate fearlessness by surrendering to Krishna. But what does that mean, surrendering to Krishna? It means, of course, according to the surrendering practices, this is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I'll quote the verse, Anukulasya sankalpa varjanam vivaso vranam tata nikshepa karpanyad vida sharanagati. And the quote of that, the translation is, the 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable for devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give one protection, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, full surrender, and humility. So these are the methodologies, or this is the method of achieving freedom from fear, to surrender to the Supreme Personality of God and cultivate knowledge. Not only knowledge of the impermanence of this mature world, but cultivate knowledge of our relationship with Krishna, not specifically who we are in the spiritual world, but Jivera Swarupohoy Nitya Krishna Das. And then, here's something else we can do to become free from fear. There's a beautiful verse in the Bhagavatam 1.1.14 that actually, and Drishta Prabhu will like this. Apana sangshating goram yanama vivashogranam tata sadyo vimucheta yad vibheti swayam boyam. So, swayam bayam actually means fear personified, which is interesting. So, actually, I'm going to give a word-by-word synonyms here because this is very important. Apana means being entangled, sangshatin, in the hurdle of birth and death. Goram, which is very complicated. Yat, what? And then, here's the operative word. Nama, the absolute name. Vivasha, unconsciously, grinam, chanting. Tata, from that, saja, at once, vimucheta, gets freedom. Yat, that which viveti, fears, swayam, personally, boyam, fear itself. So, Prabhupada's translation is, living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. So, I'm going to read some of the purport because it's very beautiful. Well, every purport of Prabhupada is beautiful. Vasudeva, or Lord Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the supreme controller of everything. There's no one in creation who is not afraid of the rage of the Almighty. Great asuras like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kansa, and others, who are all very powerful living entities, were all killed by the personality of Godhead. And the Almighty Vasudeva has empowered his name with the powers of his personal self. Everything is related to him, and everything has its identity in him. It is stated herein that the name of Krishna is feared even by fear personified. This indicates that the name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. Therefore, the name of Krishna is as powerful as Lord Krishna himself. There is no difference at all. Anyone, therefore, can take advantage, of the holy names of Lord Shri Krishna, even in the midst of the greatest dangers. The transcendental name of Krishna, even though uttered unconsciously or by force of circumstances, can help one obtain freedom from the hurdle of birth and death. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. So that's how we become free from fear. To always be kirtaniya sadahari, always chanting the Lord's holy name. Now, just to finish up class, I want to say something a little humorous. That Narada Muni, I had this realization as I was reading this verse. Narada Muni travels around giving everyone fearlessness, right? According to this verse. However, Narada Muni travels around giving certain people fearfulness. Can anyone think of any examples? Kamsa. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, he was stirring the pot. He was making Kamsa very, very fearful. For example, Kamsa thought, well, I'm going to be killed by the 8th son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Okay, no problem. Let the other kids live. So Narada Muni said, no, it's not a good idea. Any of the kids could kill. You don't know how they're counting. They'd be counting down, they could be counting up, middle ways or sideways or something like that. So he created fear. And we find that Narada Muni does this with many demons. So he doesn't only he relieves the fear of the devotees by the holy name, by spiritual instruction, by assurance, and he increases the fear of the non-devotees. And there's an interesting verse in the Bhagavad Gita that glorifying the holy name, and I forget the exact English of it, but your name is, I forget the exact English, but the demons are afraid and flee here and there when they hear your holy name. And I forget the first part of the verse. So, yeah, it's 11th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, but I forget the first part of the verse. But the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there when they hear your holy name. So, because we are threatening their supremacy, we are confronting them with the reality of their life. So, on that happy note, we have another 1 minute for class. Another one. Anybody have any questions about becoming free from fear? Yeah. Yes.
I understand when you mentioned, Maharaj, that sometimes the devotees die, and that this is...
That's the protection of Krishna. When Krishna, sometimes the devotees die. Every devotee who comes in this world dies, the body dies. It's not sometimes. It's all the time. Not die, but, pass away, go back to Godhead. There are other expressions for it. Yeah, sometimes devotees are defending a temple, and they pass away, or they get defeated.
Yeah, but where is the protection?
The protection is that you're engaged in Krishna's service, and Krishna's taking care of you. We can't think that looking at protection from a mundane point of view. That's a complete mundane, yeah.
Our future is protected.
Yeah, that's right. We'll always be engaged in Krishna's service. That's what Prabhupada says. The one about the surrendering practices? What's the site? Let's see. You'll have to look it up. Anukula Yasa Sankalpa Varjanam. I don't have the. Actually, I have other quotes here that are really beautiful. King Kulakshekara declares that the Krishna mantra destroys one's enemies. Most dangerous type of fear, yeah. Yeah, swapam up yesterday. Trayate mahato bayat. Yeah, that's another nice verse. Yeah, I mean, devotees pass away. You know, if you expected material protection, then I guess you'd stay in the same body forever.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taktam Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Anganiya Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Namahum Vishnupadaya Krishna Pastaya Putale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Sangmeniti Namene Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Vacha Nirvisesha Shunyavare Pachachagate Satarane Jaya Shri Krishna Jai Tanda Prabhunichan Nanda Jidwaita Ganada Shiva Sati Gaura Durinda Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Nirana Ramanityananda Shidwaita Garada Shiva Sati Gaura Durina All right to pray. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jayarad, Agorokinana, Gorokinana, Rate. Jayarad, Agorokinana, Gorokinana, Rate. Jayarad. Hey, Rate, Rate. Jayo, Rate, Rate, Rate. Hey, Jai Om Vishnu Pad. Manam Savar, Jarya, Velas, Shiva. Hillsborough, Jagannath, Bhaktavanda. Go, Sami Manchula, ISKCON, Founder Acharya, Goloka.
Before chanting Shikshastika, I want to remind everyone it's not a race to finish. We want to hear this. In other words, don't rush through this, please. Yeah. Yeah. Let's chant it all together without somebody running way ahead.
I know you're talking directly to me.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Chaito Darpanam Arjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pradipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahudan Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapitani Amita Smaranena Kala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjanina Nuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadaram Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhakti Rahoitaki Twai. Thank you. Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Budao Kripayata Vabada Pankaja Stita Duli Satrishim Vachintaya Nayanam Galadashu Daraya Varanam Gad Gadurudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vabukada Tavanamahe Vishati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishava Padamritam Banastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatatava Vidadatulam Pato Nat Prananatas. Slow down. I agree to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and adhering to the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.